Mr. President, members of this August Chamber, I rise to today to mark a date for
Si Tore, oh.
many Filipinos will never be forgotten. Nagkataon rin po ngayong araw na ito,
Exactly 1 year.
exactly
Exactly
March
1 year.
11, March 11, 2025.
Exactly 1 year din mga kababayan na pumunta si Lisa Araneta Marcos doon sa Amerika.
Last year, on this very same day, was one of the saddest days in our history. It was a day when emotions ran high across our country.
Ang kababuyan ni Tore, oh. Hanggang ngayon, sariwa pa ang sugat
A
mga
day when
kababayan.
millions watch in disbelief as former President Rodrigo Duterte
Anong ginawa ng
was
bangag?
taken and brought in The Hague. Nakakalungkot po na alalahanin ang mga nangyari sa ating mahal na dating Pangulong Rodrigo
yan, oh.
Duterte na
Tingnan
nagsakripisyo
nyo, si Tatay Digong mga kababayan. Isipin nyo na lang ha, payat na siya dyan mga kababayan. Ngayon, lalo pang pumayat. Ano na lang kayang itsura ni Tatay Digong?
at ibinigay ang lahat ng kanyang makakaya.
Ito ang sinukli
Ayon
ng
sa
mga bangag.
batas, bunsod ng kanyang labis na pagmamahal sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na sa mga mahirap at ordinaryong Pilipino. Mr. President, for many of us, it was more than a headline. It was more than a political issue. It was a moment that stirred memories and deep questions about our history as Filipinos. For in that moment, we saw not just a former president, but a man who once carried the mandate of millions, a man who rose from his humble beginnings in Davao City and stood at the helm of this country. It is true, Mr. President, that there are moments that divide our opinions but unite our emotions. March 11 was one
March
of those
11.
moments.
Katrayduran ni bangag mga kababayan. Sa ngayon mga kababayan, habang nagsasalita itong si Senator Bongo, andun na sa alapaap na naman pauwi si bangag. Nakasakay ng eroplanong gastos ng taong bayan. 2 jet daw mga kababayan para sa kanilang entourage. Bakit ang dami nila? 2 jet talaga, mga buwisit. Kaya di natin masisisi ang mga tao, mga kababayan, nagsabi na sana matamaan daw mga kababayan ng kidlat. Si bangag habang nakasakay sa eroplano.
Across homes, communities, and provinces,
ang
countless
Tore,
Filipino witness how someone they once entrusted
Tinalagkad si Tatay Digong, oh? Hinila ni Tore mga kababayan,
with
oh?
the highest office of the land was made to face prosecution and judgment far from his real home. Akalain ninyo, Mr. President, 1 taon na pala ang lumipas.
Isang taon na.
Parang kahapon lamang nangyari ang lahat sapagkat ngayong araw na to ngayon
Ayan, oh.
hanggang ngayon po ay ang kalungkutan at pangungulila ay nananatili pa rin sa puso ng marami nating mga kababayan.
Tingnan mo ang unggoy na mga kababayan, oh. Sabi ni Baste, unggoy si Tore.
1 year has passed, yet the emotions remain as vivid as ever. The pain, the questions, and the sense of loss are still felt by many Filipinos who remember that moment not merely as a political event, but as a deeply personal chapter in their life.
Oh?
That is what
Yan na, oh. Ang huling mga kababayan, mga saglit ni Tatay Digong sa ating bansa.
why, Mr. President, in times like this, we must pause and reflect on principles that go beyond personalities and politics. We must ensure that what happened to former President Duterte should never happen again to anyone. No Filipino, regardless of position, influence, or political affiliation, should ever feel that the legal processes meant to protect our people can be set aside or disregarded. Siguraduhin natin na hindi na maulit sa kahit sino man ang pagsasantabi ng mga legal na proseso. This issue is greater than any of us or any personality. What is at stake here is our sovereignty and judicial independence as a sovereign nation and the dignity of every Filipino. Kung ang isang dating pangulo ng ating bansa ay maaring tratuhin ng ganito,
Nilabanan niya ang mga adik mga kababayan. Only later on, pinatapon siya ng adik na presidente. Sabi ng kanyang kapatid mismo na si Amy.
paano na lang po ang ordinaryong Pilipino?
Nagtatawa na lang.
Nakakalungkot po. Tanda na si Tatay Digong. In fact, yung picture na lumabas dyan na merong oxygen na concentrator, totoo po yun. Panahon ng pandemya, bit-bit niya to parati.
Matagal na yan. Matagal na yan mga kababayan.
Alam naman natin na
Tapos,
matapos siya at
Ang sabi pa nila dati, mamamatay na daw si Tatay Digong. Lagi nilang sinasabi.
Tatag siya pero kitang-kita ko na rin ang kanyang iniinda. 71 years old na po siya ngayong March 28. At fragile na po siya. At maaaring 81 na po siya. Sorry, 81 years old na po siya sa
Malapit na
March
siya
28.
mag-birthday. Malapit na mag-birthday.
Kumbaga harmless at fragile na po si Tatay Digong. Hindi na siya dapat ipinilit ilayo sa bansa. Hirap na po siyang maglakad. Nakasungkod na nga po siya. Maski pagtali ng sariling sintas, hindi na niya maabot.
Oo nga.
Lahat naman tayo ay tumatanda. Lahat tayo ay may minamahal na lolo, lola at tatay.
Manda ka talaga,
mga
bangag.
kaibigang may edad na.
Ikaw bangag
Dapat
ka.
po'y alagaan na lang po sila rito. Ang sakit na makita na yung taong binigay ang lahat para sa atin, ngayon ay mag-isa sa isang kwarto sa banyagang bansa. Sana muling magkaisa ang mga Pilipino. Sana matuldukan na ang pagkawatak-watak nating mga Pilipino. Imbis na
Mangyayari
ulan,
lang yan.
bigla-
Mangyayari lang yan kung wala na ang bangag. Wala nang bangag mga kababayan dito sa Pilipinas. Habang may bangag dito mga kababayan, malabong mangyari ang pagkakaisa. Ayaw nating makiisa, ayaw nating makibangag mga kababayan dyan sa mga kawatan, adik, mga parang mga sindikato ng mga tao mga kababayan.
na tayong umurong, OFWs nga pinapauwi natin. Noong panahon ni dating Pangulong Duterte, yung iba nagre-raise po ng funds para pambigay po doon sa blood money, no? Na para mapauwi lang po yung ating mga kababayan.
Tapos itong
OFWs.
bangag na
yun po
ito?
yung ginagawa namin noon, na ginagawan po ng paraan na makauwi dito yung mga kababayan nating Pilipino. Pero baliktad po ang nangyari kay Tatay Digong. Bakit natin isinuko
pinatapon.
ang sariling nating lahi? Pilipino rin po si Tatay Digong, hindi dapat siya pinamimigay sa dayuhan. Mr. President, ang bawat Pilipino, mataas o mababa man ang katayuan sa buhay, saan man sa mundo, dapat may gobyernong masasandalan na hindi siya pababayaan. Former President man o hindi, karapatan yan, lalo na po pagdating sa kanyang kalusugan, kaligtasan at buhay. Mr. President, the world today is full of wars, bombings, and mass killings. Walang kasiguraduhan ang bukas para sa lahat. We will never know what will happen tomorrow and in times like this.
Si Bangag, ang sabi, we're in good shape. Parang wala talagang itong si Bangag mga kababayan. Walang sense of, common sense. Okay lang daw. Okay lang daw tayo. Siya lang ang okay dahil siya lang ang andun mga kababayan, nag-happy-happy sa USA. Ang sabi nila, nagpapatusok na naman daw mga kababayan sa kanyang diverticulitis. Lord.
Let's take it as a call for Filipinos to come together. Let us stand as one, no matter our status, our color, or our political beliefs. Siguraduhin natin na ang bawat Pilipino, anuman ang kanyang estado, kulay at paniniwala o kinabibilangan sa politika, ay protektado at nire-respeto po ng Estado. And today, wherever history ultimately places our former President Duterte, one thing remains undeniable. He became a defining figure in the lives of millions of Filipinos.
Millions of
Finally,
Filipino.
Mr. President, I humbly ask for everyone's prayers for former President Rodrigo Duterte. Prayers for his health, his safety, and his well-being. May he be protected, guided, and keep strong as he faces the days ahead. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat
I
ha,
would
Senator
like to be
Bongo.
clarified first on the
Eto mga kababayan, ang mga bangag, tingnan nyo mga bangag, itong sinalakson na naman mga kababayan, ang dagang. Di ba mayroong question dyan sa Senado tungkol doon sa extraordinary rendition na dapat hindi na mangyari mga kababayan ulit. Dahil yung sa clipping ni Bangag. Ngayon si mga kababayan, nag-aabogado itong gonggong mga kababayan. Hindi naman abogado, abogago lang. Gago lang talaga. Kasi Lacson, pinag-question mga kababayan. Itong hakbang na questionin, itong ginawa ni Bangag.
definition of extraordinary rendition. How would you define in your own terms, extraordinary rendition? Medyo matapang lang po, natatapangan ako doon
Matapang ang amoy mo, Lacson.
sa extraordinary rendition.
Itong mukha ni Lacson mga kababayan, ang gaspang, yung lumalabas sa mga kababayan sa screen dito sa mga cellphone at TV natin, yung parang amoy kanal.
At the proper time, maybe I can introduce some amendments to just soften the language used.
Actually, Mr. President, I had the same reaction when
Natatapangan daw siya mga kababayan sa extraordinary rendition na term. Dapat hindi daw ganyan ang mga terminong gagamitin, Mr. Lord.
need the draft because some of them have exposure in international law So vis-a-vis ordinary rendition. So ordinarily, a local court issues the warrant, and then if there's an extradition request, then based on the extradition request, it's given to a local court. The local court will then issue its arrest warrant and then would allow the extradition. But for countries who allows extraordinary rendition, so some countries do not allow. For example, Venezuela, pero kinuha pa rin yung leader nila. So I think that was the intent, to just emphasize that if it's not an extradition request, it will be a extraordinary rendition of arresting and what's the better word of exporting or of extraditing
Kidnapping.
a Filipino.
Yeah, I have a definition of extraordinary rendition.
May definition ka, ungas ka. Ang pinag-uusapan ditong definition is in the law. Ito talagang mga gagong mga ito, mga kababayan, no? Mga bida-bida talaga, no? Hindi naman talaga mga kababayan, mga inutil ito eh. Kumbaga sa ito mga kababayan, lagay natin ito sa level sa kaalaman sa batas. Talino pang grade 1 dito.
Refers to
Yung ito mga mga definition, hindi naman yan galing sa kanya mga kababayan. Pinabasa lang yan sa kanyang kanyang mga sulsultant ang gumawa.
the transfer of a person, usually a suspected terrorist or criminal, from one country to another without formal
Saan ka na nang kinukuha yung mga definition
legal
niya?
procedures, often to a country where the person may be interrogated outside normal judicial safeguards. So it's quite strong, Mr. President.
Yes.
And if we're dealing with the ICC, I don't think the proper terms or any country that we have.
Saan mo napulot yung Saan mo napulot yung definition mo, Lacson? Hindi ibig sabihin na mayroong bansang nag-define yan. Applicable lang yan doon sa kanila. Hindi yan applicable sa ating gunggong.
Extradition treaty with, no? Mukhang, I think we should change the language from extra.
Gusto niya ipa-change ang language mga kababayan dahil pinoprotektahan na naman si Marcos dito mga kababayan na hindi daw ganyan ang ginawa ni Marcos.
Rendition to another.
Yeah, just to explain, Mr. President, and then I have no objection to changing it. It is
Wag mong i-change. Wag kang magpadala dyan kay gunggong na
really used by defense lawyers, not only in the ICC but other courts, when someone is taken from their country and brought to the international courts without first passing the local courts. But as you said, Mr. President, it's not only kasi may connotation by
Yes.
denotation. So I would be amendable to protect all Filipinos from extradition, but extradition in the general sense, not in the extradition defined in our law vis-a-vis. The complication here, Mr.
Why
President.
not just use the rendition? Because rendition simply means handing over a suspect to another jurisdiction.
Kung rendition kasi pwedeng sabihin nating rendition pero ginawa in a legal way. Yung extraordinary mga kababayan, hindi dumaan sa ordinaryong proseso.
Whether it's another country or an international court. I remember, Mr. President, in the Anti-Terrorism Act which I sponsored, there's a provision there prohibiting extraordinary rendition because we are referring to a terrorist.
Terrorist pala si Tatay Digong. Ikaw ang gumagawa-gawa ng spekulasyon dyan, Lacson, ungas.
Kasi ang connotation, pagka sinabing extraordinary rendition, parang kinidnap ng CIA, tapos dadalhin sa kanila para interrogate
Yes.
without going through the normal judicial processes.
Point is well taken, and I see. Mr. President, would the term extrajudicial rendition be acceptable? Because basically, the point of the resolution is that kung sumama kusa yung in-extradite, no problem. Pero kung tingin niya dapat punta siya sa korte, hindi dapat extrajudicial. Dapat may judicial process. So would
Correct.
extrajudicial rendition...
As in the case of the former president.
I'm amenable
Hindi dumaan sa judicial
to taking out that paragraph because I want to look at this prospectively. I think there will be some political
Illegal na lang kung ayaw mo.
color if we
Yes.
talk
Kidnapping. Yan na. Ayaw nila na. Kidnapping na lang. Straightforward tayo dito. Oh, bangag. Lacson, Pistot.
About what happened in the past, and besides, Mr. President, that case is with the Supreme Court. So the bottom line of this resolution is that if for whatever reason, a mistaken identity, sinasabi ng tao, hindi ako yan, sinasabi ng tao, he's innocent or wala tayong treaty doon, he can run to court before he is removed from the country. Yun lang naman po.
Thank you,
ang
Mr.
intention,
President. Maybe we can,
Yayak kang
we
nimal
can
ka.
use extrajudicial rendition. Because if the person arrested by the custodial state
Illegal kidnapping na lang, Lacson. Ungas. Bakta.
will not go through the local court, at least for authenticity. My next question, Mr. President, is: are you familiar with the Article 59 of the Rome Statute?
Yes, Mr. President.
It's very clear here. No?
In-
I'll just read for the record some of the salient
Bakit hindi niyo yan sinunod?
provisions here. No? Number one, a state party which has received a request for provisional arrest or for arrest and surrender shall immediately take steps to arrest the person. That's a given. Ano? Number two, a person arrested shall be brought promptly before the competent judicial
Yan, bakit hindi niya sinunod?
authority in the custodial state, which shall determine in accordance with the law of that state that the warrant applies to that person, the person has been arrested in accordance with the proper process, and the person's rights.
Hoy, Lacson, nakakakilabot itong mga ganyang mga tao, mga kababayan, na pilit nag-i-interpret, mga kababayan, sa mga legalities na hindi naman nakakaintindi talaga, mga kababayan.
Have been respected.
Wala rin, tingnan nyo ha.
Meron pa nga rito na the person arrested shall have the right to apply to the competent authority in the custodial state for interim release. Pwede pa nga mag-request ng interim release eh. But of course, pag ginrant yung interim release, the custodial state will have to inform the ICC or the International Court. So it's very clear even in the Rome Statute na hindi pwede yung basta pagka-aresto, diretso sa eroplano.
Bakit ginawa yan ng Bakit ginawa mo yung bangag mo?
I agree with your interpretation, Mr. President. Not only as a senator but as the
What's
former
your beef with that?
Ang point ko lang kasi dito, Mr. President, in the
ano purpose itong si Pisot, mga kababayan? Sa pagtatanong mo ng ganyan.
previous constitutions, the constitution allowed other authorities to issue warrant of arrest. But in the 87 constitution, it's very clear, it's only a judge. And kailangan may personal
Knowledge.
examination.
Yeah, personal examination.
So, if you look at the ICC comprehensively and of course Article 59, ang keyword dyan is complementarity. Dapat nagko-complement yung dalawa. So, if you look at UK, Canada, South Korea, for example, Mr. President, Argentina, Paraguay, South Africa, all of them have provisions, whether it's arrest to extradition or whether it's surrender. It gives the individual being arrested an opportunity to run to their local courts. So,
I agree. I completely agree, Mr. President, because
Sabihin mo yan kay Bangag. Sabihin mo kay Bangag.
it is an utter disrespect to the local court or local authorities to just, without passing through the normal judicial process here, at least for authentication, for verification, the person that has been issued the warrant of arrest will just be brought out of the country. So, but some legal experts are invoking RA 9851 sa crime
Yung mga illegal expert nila, mga kababayan, yan ang mga gunggong na naman.
And mind you, Section 17,
Mind you
malinaw
pa.
na hindi naman po mandatory. Hindi ito yung kailangan pagka nahuli, kailangan i-turn over. Kasi hindi po siya lang ginamit eh. In the interest of justice, the relevant Philippine authorities may dispense with the investigation or prosecution of a crime punishable under this act if another court or international tribunal is already conducting. Well, that's another matter. Instead, the authorities may surrender or extradite suspected or accused persons in the Philippines to the appropriate international court if any, or to another state pursuant to the not applicable here, no, the extradition, because we're not dealing here with the extradition. So hindi naman po mandatorily expressed, no, or hindi mandatory yung sinasabi ng 9851 na i-turn over.
Well, Mr. President, 2 points. One, in the Pangilinan versus Cayetano case, it was made very clear that
Who's that Cayetano, Mr. President?
I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs at that time. So my name was by the process of the Supreme Court, but actually yung Solgen naman po ang nag-file talaga ng legal arguments, Mr. President. And then, of course, it was Senator Kiko Pangilinan. So, of course, the main issue was whether or not the President can get out of a treaty without concurrence of the Senate. But meron pong discussion doon na sinasabi na ang treaty kailangan complies with the Constitution. So, any treaty, for example, Mr. President, that says that anyone can arrest anyone but hindi dadaan sa judge, that's unconstitutional. So, if you look at all other countries, ine-emphasize nila yung Constitution din nila. And if you look at the Rome Statute, wala namang conflict po eh. Sinasabi din ng Rome conflict nandun eh. Secondly, Mr. President, of course, we entered the Rome Statute and the ICC. We ratified it after we passed this law. So, meaning even assuming you can surrender someone, that doesn't mean that he cannot go to the judge and question whether. So, for example, Mr. President, hinuli si Joel Villanueva pero sinabi si Win Gatchalian siya.
Yes.
I mean, it might be funny to us and we might know the difference between the two gentlemen. Minsan yung media nagkakamali. But what if you had actual twins, di ba? Si Alan Tan and Ping Tan, and ang hinuhuli si Alan, si Ping ang nahuli, di ba? Shouldn't he have the opportunity to go before the court and say, we might have the same DNA, baka magkamukha kami, but that's not me, that's my brother. So this is the most simple case I can think of. And some people will say na hindi na kailangan to kasi umalis na tayo sa ICC. But remember, Mr. President, so far, no, ang sabi ng ICC, basta't yung period na may jurisdiction pa sila. So kung bigla tayong may nakitang mass grave dito at pinagbintangan yung ibang leader ng ibang insurgency, pwede na lang silang damputin. Or for example, sa Marawi, what if someone shows the ICC certain footages na hindi kompleto at pinalabas ay may binomba na eskwelahan or ospital at crimes against humanity to or war crimes to? Will we not allow our generals to go to our court muna? I mean, that's one reason the United States and China, Russia have not ratified or have not joined the ICC because nga of the wartime actions of their military. But in our context, Mr. President, recently, even just former Justice Secretary Aguirre was named dun sa co-conspirator. Ang lapit na ho sa presidente nun kasi alter ego na yon eh. So for example, no, and I hanga ako sa tao na to, no, but and there's no imputation of anything to him, but for example, Mr. President, Secretary Anyo is now our national security advisor, but he was the ILG during Marawi. I cannot see a situation where the ICC wants to arrest him and bigla na lang natin siyang isasakay sa plano without him being allowed to go to court, no, or to the Solgen to what you call this, to make representations in our local court. So, dun papunta, Mr. President, yung aking thinking sa resolution na to.
Yes. You mentioned mistaken identity because of some lookalikes, ano? And you also mentioned Vitaliano Aguirre. And I have a staff member who looks like Vitaliano Aguirre. He's here.
Oo naman.
Mr. President, Vince Dizon is also here.
So, talagang totoo yung sinasabi nyo. Kailangan talaga dumaan sa local court para man lang ma-authenticate yung real identity ng person who is subject of a warrant of arrest. And are you also familiar with Article 89 of the Rome Statute?
Not so much with Article 89.
Dito
Mr.
po,
President.
ganun din, wala namang konflikto sa article kanina, sa 59, or what's that? Anyway, nakalagay dito, the court, meaning the international court, may transmit a request for the arrest and surrender of a person together with the material supporting the request outlined in Article 91, that's another article, to any state on the territory of which that person may be found and shall request the cooperation of that state in the arrest and surrender. Anyway, minention din dito na state parties shall, in accordance with the provisions of this part and the procedure under their national law. No? When the national law that is referred to here is 9851, which I mentioned earlier, hindi naman po mandatory yung
Sir President, I agree with the gentleman, Senate President Pro Tem, and I think it falls upon the Supreme Court to come out with its rules. Yung isang reason po na bunsad sa akin na i-draft tong resolution na to, nung in-announce ng ICC na meron silang tinatawag na secret warrant of arrest. And I understand. Kasi nga, if you're dealing with war crimes or with genocide, Mr. President, and you're talking about dictators that have billions of dollars and can hide all around the world, you don't want to give them advance notice. But on the other hand, Mr. President, if you look at our Constitution, the person has the right to see the warrant and to be informed of the charges. And my interpretation is a local judge has to see that. So for me, there's no conflict if the Supreme Court has certain rules regarding that. No? So meaning, halimbawa po, Mr. President, pag dumating yung request dito, mapunta sa isang judge, he's not allowed to discuss it or announce it publicly until he issues the warrant of arrest and then an operation for the arrest. Ang point lang sa akin, Mr. President, before he is removed from this country, ma-redress niya pa rin yung sarili niya sa korte.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. And as I mentioned earlier, I fully support this Senate resolution, of course, subject to style,
Yes,
based
thank
on
you,
what
Mr.
we have agreed earlier. So that's all, Mr. President, and I will continue to support this resolution. Thank you very much.
I thank you, Mr. President, for that interpellation, and maybe we can look at the whereas clause that can be interpreted as political and not only subject to style but also in substance, so that this can be a bipartisan measure that will ensure the constitutional rights of all Filipinos. Thank you very much, Senator Lacson, for that interpellation.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and Madam President, and to our dear colleague. Senator Cayetano, our Minority Floor Leader, I just got a text message. There's just some proposed amendments. There are no longer any more interpellations, so maybe we can close the period of interpellation. And on Monday, I believe the Senate President would like to propose amendments together with Senator Lacson and Senator Kiko Pangilinan as well. So if it's all right, we can close the period of interpellation.
And Mr. President, our staff can also
work together.
discuss so that we can consult everyone and reword it. I think it's a good day and a good opportunity to just clarify this. And may I just emphasize again, in the end, unless kasi we amend this Republic Act or come up with a new law, which will take time, it really falls, this is really a sense of the Senate. And I think one of the addresses will really be the Honorable Supreme Court. They did come out with rules for extradition, but I think there was a statement that it might not be applicable to rules of surrender under this RA. So maybe some clarity will come out of this. So again, thank you, Majority Leader, and to
Thank you.
our Madam Senate President.